Ren stepped off the shuttle, his boots crunching on the polished metal floor of the Zorathian orbital station. He took a deep breath and looked around. Towering walls shimmered with soft, flowing lights, and the air smelled faintly sweet. This was nothing like Earth, and Ren loved every bit of it. His assignment was clear: help repair the station's aging systems and ensure the orbital docking bays could handle incoming ships. A tall figure approached him, gliding across the floor with grace. It was Myra, his partner. Her skin had a faint silver glow, and her eyes seemed to change colors with her emotions. She smiled warmly. "Welcome to Zorathia, Ren," she said, her voice melodic. "I am so happy you are here." "Thanks, Myra," Ren replied. "The station looks incredible." He paused, noticing the subtle hum of energy flowing through the walls. "It's unlike anything I've seen." Myra laughed lightly. "You'll get used to it. But first, I want to introduce you to my family. They are eager to meet you." Ren nodded, trying to hide his nervousness. Meeting alien families was a new experience, and he wasn't sure what to expect. Myra led him down a corridor that opened into a large hall. There, a group of Zorathians waited. They were taller than Myra, with elegant features and robes that shimmered like liquid silver. "This is my sister, Lara," Myra said, gesturing to a figure standing slightly apart from the rest. Lara's eyes were calm but bright, watching Ren with curiosity. "And these are our parents." Ren stepped forward and bowed slightly, as he had been taught in a basic orientation video. "It's an honor to meet all of you," he said. Lara smiled politely. "The honor is ours," she said. Her voice was soft but carried authority. Ren noticed the way she tilted her head slightly toward Myra, and a shiver ran down his spine. There was something unusual in the way she looked at him, like he was more than a guest. As the introductions continued, Ren tried to understand the customs. Myra spoke quietly to Lara, and Ren caught a few words that sounded like "take care" and "ours." He frowned. Did Myra give him to her sister? The thought was absurd, yet he couldn't shake the feeling that he had misunderstood. Dinner was served in the hall. Plates floated gently in front of each person, carrying food Ren had never seen. Colors shifted as they moved, and the smell was delightful. He tried the dishes carefully, making sure not to offend anyone. Myra leaned closer. "Ren, don't worry. They like you," she whispered. Her eyes were filled with warmth, but her words didn't fully calm him. He nodded, still unsure. "I hope so. I don't want to make any mistakes." As the meal continued, Ren observed Lara more closely. She was attentive to every move he made, offering polite smiles and helping when he reached for something. Her attention felt intense, almost ceremonial. Ren remembered Myra's words and the soft phrase he overheard earlier. He swallowed nervously. After dinner, Myra invited Ren to join them in the family's relaxation room. Holographic lights created a calming scene of an alien forest, with gentle streams and glowing trees. Ren marveled at the technology, then noticed Myra and Lara speaking quietly in a corner. "Ren," Myra said suddenly, walking over to him. "You must understand our culture. What you saw at dinner, it is part of our way of showing respect and trust. Lara is honored to meet you, and in Zorathian tradition, that can be misunderstood by outsiders." Ren tilted his head. "Misunderstood how?" Myra smiled gently. "Some humans might think it means I gave you to my sister. That is not true. You are my partner. But in our culture, partners are sometimes called gifts in ceremonies. It is symbolic. It shows trust and connection." Ren exhaled slowly. Relief washed over him, mixed with curiosity. "So, I'm not really a gift?" "No," Myra said, laughing softly. "You are not a gift in the way you think. You are very much yourself, and we are happy you are here." Ren smiled. For the first time, he felt he could relax a little. Still, he knew the next days would be full of cultural surprises, and he needed to pay close attention to avoid unintentional mistakes. As he looked around the room, watching Myra and Lara interact, Ren realized this experience would teach him more than engineering. It would teach him how to understand a completely different world, a different family, and a culture that valued trust and connection in ways he had never imagined. Ren settled into the soft glowing chairs, feeling both nervous and excited. The adventure on Zarathea was only beginning, and he had no idea just how much he would learn and how much his life would change. The next morning, Ren woke to the soft hum of the station. The light filtered through the tall windows, bathing the room in gentle silver. Myra was already awake, standing by the window, her eyes reflecting the stars beyond the station. "Good morning," Ren said, stepping closer. "Good morning, Ren," Myra replied. "I hope you slept well. Today, I want to show you more of our customs. You may find them unusual at first." Ren nodded. "I'm ready. I want to understand everything. I don't want to make mistakes with your family." Myra smiled but seemed hesitant. She glanced toward the corridor where Lara had disappeared earlier. Ren noticed the tension in her posture. "Ren, about last night," she began softly. "You must know that our customs are different. Some words can be misunderstood by humans." Ren tilted his head. "I think I might have already misunderstood. Are you saying I'm a gift?" His voice wavered. Myra's eyes widened. "No. Not really. But you must understand, our tradition sometimes uses the word gift to describe partners in family ceremonies. It is symbolic, not literal." Ren ran a hand through his hair. "So, I'm not literally yours for your sister?" Myra laughed lightly. "No, Ren. You are very much yours. Lara does not own you. She respects you. That is all." Despite Myra's words, Ren felt uneasy. At breakfast, he watched Lara. Every gesture she made seemed overly careful, like she was observing him for a purpose he could not understand. When she offered him a cup of glowing liquid, her eyes lingered longer than necessary. Ren smiled politely but his thoughts raced. After breakfast, Myra decided to take Ren on a tour of the orbital station. "You need to see how our society works," she said. "It is easier to understand if you experience it." As they walked through corridors filled with floating screens and lights, Ren tried to focus on the technology. But his mind kept returning to Lara and the whispered words he had overheard. Myra noticed his distraction. "Ren, do not worry so much about words," Myra said gently. "Trust me. You are here because we value you. Sometimes humans worry too much about meanings. Actions matter more." Ren nodded, though his mind still swirled with doubt. He wanted to trust Myra, but the cultural gap was larger than he expected. Every gesture, every glance from Lara seemed loaded with meaning he could not fully grasp. Later, in a room filled with holographic maps, Myra showed Ren the orbital station's energy grid. He studied it carefully, offering ideas for optimization. Myra watched him with admiration, proud of his human ingenuity. "Humans are clever," she said quietly. "You think differently from us. That is valuable." Ren felt a small surge of pride. "Thanks. I want to help. I want to be part of this, not just a visitor." Myra smiled. "You already are. But sometimes, understanding our culture is harder than understanding our technology." The tension returned when they met Lara again. She invited Ren to join her in a small training room where Zarathians practiced coordination exercises. Ren noticed how patient and graceful Lara was, explaining the movements without rushing. He followed her instructions carefully, feeling the strain in muscles he had not used before. "You are improving," Lara said. Humans learn fast when they focus. Her words were kind, but Rin noticed a subtle shift in her tone. She seemed almost proud. It confused him. He was not sure if it was praise or something more ceremonial. After the session, Rin tried to speak to Myra privately. "I still don't understand," he admitted. "Every time I am around Lara, I feel like I am supposed to be a gift." "I know you said I'm not, but," Myra took his hands gently. "Rin, listen. Zorathians have rituals that seem strange. Calling someone a gift does not mean they are given away. It means they are honored and trusted. Lara sees you as a friend, a respected partner, not property." Rin exhaled slowly. Relief mixed with embarrassment. "I guess I need to learn patience," and read between the lines. Myra laughed softly. "Yes. And remember, you are not alone. We will guide you. Learning our culture is part of your journey here." Rin smiled, feeling a new determination. The misunderstanding was only the beginning. He would need to be careful, attentive, and respectful. But he also realized that this challenge was a chance to bridge worlds. Humans and Zorathians could learn from each other. He could prove that kindness, courage, and understanding were universal values. As they left the training room, Rin glanced at Lara. She smiled at him, not with ceremony this time, but with quiet warmth. For the first time, he felt a small thread of trust forming. He knew that if he paid attention, he could navigate this strange new culture and maybe even earn his place in Myra's family. Rin could hear music echoing through the hallways as Myra led him toward the central plaza of the orbital station. The soft melodies vibrated in the air, harmonizing with the glow of floating lanterns. The plaza was filled with Zorathians, dressed in shimmering robes, moving gracefully in circles, exchanging symbolic gestures with each other. "This is the Festival of Bonds," Myra explained. "It celebrates family, trust, and friendship. Today, you will see our customs in full." Rin's eyes widened. He had never seen anything like it. The Zorathians moved with such elegance that it felt as though the air itself followed them. He noticed how pairs of Zorathians offered floating tokens, small, glowing orbs to each other, bowing slightly as they passed them. "Do I participate?" Rin asked, feeling nervous. Myra smiled. "Yes. It is a gesture of welcome. You are part of our community today." Rin swallowed. He glanced at Lara, who stood nearby, watching him with calm eyes. She offered a small nod, signaling that he should follow her lead. Rin took a deep breath and stepped forward. Lara handed him a glowing orb. "Hold it carefully," she said. Rin felt the warmth of the orb, like a soft pulse. He passed it to Myra as she bowed slightly, then received another orb from her. It was simple yet meaningful, a silent language of trust. Rin began to understand that the gift word he had worried about was part of these ceremonies. As the festival continued, Rin observed families performing their rituals. Each action was precise, yet full of emotion. Some Zorathians danced in pairs, others exchanged words that Rin could not fully understand, yet he sensed respect and joy in their voices. Myra leaned closer to Rin. "Do you see? The word gift is only symbolic. It means the person is trusted and honored. It does not mean ownership. You are safe and respected here." Rin nodded, feeling relief wash over him. Slowly, he began to follow the dance patterns, mimicking the steps he saw others taking. At first, his movements were stiff, and a few Zorathians glanced at him curiously. But as he relaxed, Myra guided his hands and feet, showing him the flow. "You are learning quickly," she said. "Humans can adapt in ways we admire." Rin smiled. For the first time, he felt a true connection to this alien culture. He realized that understanding a culture was not just about words or ceremonies, it was about observing, listening, and respecting the intentions behind actions. Later, Ren participated in a symbolic exchange between families. Lara handed him another glowing orb, this one brighter than before. "This is for you," she said softly. "It represents trust. Not as a gift, but as acceptance." Ren's heart lifted. He realized that the nervousness he felt around Lara before had been misplaced. She was not trying to claim him or treat him as an object, she was showing respect and inclusion. He carefully held the orb, bowing slightly in gratitude. As the festival continued, Ren noticed Myra whispering something to Lara. He could not hear the words, but he saw Lara's face light up with amusement. Myra glanced at him, eyes twinkling. "Even we tease each other during festivals," she said. "It is part of our way to bond." Ren laughed softly. The tension he had carried for days began to melt away. He realized that cultural misunderstandings were natural, especially between humans and Zorathians. What mattered most was mutual respect and a willingness to learn. By the end of the festival, Ren felt more at ease. He had danced, exchanged orbs, and even shared a few laughs with Myra and Lara. He noticed the way other Zorathians looked at him not with suspicion, but with curiosity and admiration. Myra took Ren's hand as they walked toward the exit of the plaza. "You did well today," she said. "You are not a gift in the way you feared. You are part of our world. That is what matters." Ren smiled, feeling warmth in his chest. For the first time since arriving on Zorathia, he truly understood that he could belong here. The festival had shown him that respect, courage, and openness were universal values. As they returned to the station, Ren glanced at Lara. She gave him a small, approving nod. Ren realized that the bond he feared might exist between them had transformed into something stronger, mutual respect and trust. He thought to himself that learning this alien culture was challenging, but also exciting. Each day would bring new lessons, and each lesson would bring him closer to understanding Myra, Lara, and the Zorathian way of life. Ren knew the journey had only begun, but the Festival of Bonds had given him hope. He could navigate this strange world, learn its ways, and perhaps even leave a mark that showed humans were not only capable of understanding alien cultures, they could honor them. The next morning, Ren was already in the control room when an alarm blared. Red lights flashed across the walls, and the hum of the station's energy grid became unstable. He grabbed a console and scanned the readings. "Myra," Ren called. "There's a critical failure in the docking bay systems. If we don't fix it, incoming ships could be damaged." Myra rushed in, her silver skin glowing faintly in the alarm lights. "I will gather the technicians," she said. "But you must lead the repair. You understand human systems better than we do." Ren nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him, but he also felt a spark of excitement. This was his moment to show not only his skills but also the value humans could bring to Zorathian technology. He ran to the docking bay, where sparks flew from a broken energy conduit. The air smelled faintly metallic, and the floor vibrated underfoot. Technicians hovered nearby, looking worried. Ren's hands moved quickly, following the instincts he had learned on Earth, adapting them to alien machinery. "Focus on the main conduit," Ren instructed. "The secondary systems can hold for now, but we must stabilize the energy flow here first." The technicians nodded, following his lead. Ren's mind raced as he calculated voltage adjustments, rewired circuits, and redirected energy flows. It was complex, but he felt confident. His human ingenuity, combined with Myra's guidance, could save the station. Meanwhile, Myra coordinated with the control room. Her voice came over the intercom, calm yet firm. "Technicians, trust Ren. He knows the patterns. Follow his instructions exactly." Ren wiped sweat from his brow as sparks flew dangerously close. One wrong move, and the system could overload. He remembered Myra's words from the festival, respect and trust were key. He had to trust his knowledge and the teamwork around him. After several tense minutes, Ren adjusted the final conduit. Lights on the consoles shifted from red to green, and the vibration of the floor eased. The docking bays stabilized. A cheer rose from the technicians, and Ren allowed himself a small smile. Myra floated toward him, eyes bright with pride. "You did it, Ren. The station is safe because of you." Ren exhaled slowly. "We did it? I couldn't have done it alone." He glanced at Lara, who had arrived quietly behind Myra. She nodded, her eyes showing approval. Ren realized she was not only respecting him now but also recognizing his skill and courage. Later, in a quieter room, Myra and Ren sat together. "You were amazing," Myra said softly. "Not many can manage a crisis like that on their first week here." Ren laughed lightly, still feeling the adrenaline. "It wasn't easy, but it felt right. I'm glad I could help." Myra smiled and took his hand. "This is what I wanted you to see. Humans are capable of more than we imagined. Your courage and quick thinking, they mean a lot to us." Ren felt warmth in his chest. The worry he had felt about being misunderstood, about the gift ceremony, faded. Here, he was valued for his actions and his mind, not for misunderstandings or rituals. Even Lara approached him. "Your methods were unusual," she said, "but effective. You handled the situation calmly and decisively. We trust you now, fully." Ren felt a sense of pride and relief. The tension he had felt around Lara was gone. She had accepted him as a capable partner, not as an object of ceremony. The rest of the day was quieter, with technicians checking systems and making minor adjustments. Ren observed, offering suggestions and learning more about Zorathian technology. Myra stayed by his side, explaining nuances that were unique to their culture. As night fell, the orbital station glowed softly against the backdrop of space. Ren looked out a window, seeing ships moving smoothly in the docking bays. He realized that the crisis had not only proven his abilities but also helped him understand Zorathians better. Their respect was earned through action, courage, and understanding. Myra leaned against him, smiling. "You belong here, Ren. Not as a gift, but as a valued partner and friend." Ren smiled back. He felt a deep connection forming not only with Myra but with the Zorathians as a whole. He knew that challenges would come, but he also knew that humanity's ingenuity, courage, and respect for others could bridge worlds. For the first time, Ren felt truly at home on Zorathia. The station hummed peacefully around him, and he understood that every culture had its way of testing trust. By stepping forward, showing skill, and respecting differences, he had proven that humans could be both friends and allies, capable, reliable, and honorable. The day after the crisis, Ren felt a quiet confidence. The docking bays were safe, the station systems were stable, and the Zorathians seemed to view him differently. He noticed subtle nods of respect from technicians and even from some elders he had not met before. Myra guided him through a corridor toward a workshop. "I want to show you something," she said, smiling. "This is where we design improvements for the station. I think you will find it interesting." The workshop was filled with floating tools and holographic displays. Ren's eyes lit up. He immediately began analyzing the station's systems, suggesting ways to make energy flow more efficient and safer. Myra and Lara watched closely, occasionally asking questions about his reasoning. "You humans think in such simple, effective ways," Myra said. "It is fascinating." Ren chuckled. "Simple works when it works, I guess. I like to see problems and break them into steps." Lara leaned forward, studying one of Ren's diagrams. "This approach is clever. It might save energy across multiple systems. We should implement it." Ren felt a rush of pride. Not only were they listening, they valued his ideas. Later, Myra invited Ren to participate in a family gathering. The room shimmered with soft lights, and Zorathian music played in the background. Other families joined them, and Rin felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He knew this was another chance to understand Zorathian culture. Myra whispered, "Observe, Rin. This is part of how trust is built. Families share stories, games, and laughter. It is how we connect." Rin watched Lara engage with her family. She spoke softly but confidently, showing patience and kindness. He noticed the way she included him in the conversation, asking questions and listening to his answers. It was subtle, but he realized it was a sign of acceptance. At one point, a group of children approached Rin, curious about the human visitor. They mimicked his gestures and laughed when he showed them a simple earth game. Myra and Lara laughed along with the children, and Rin felt a sense of belonging he had not experienced before. Later, Myra explained the gift tradition again, but in a way Rin could fully understand. "The word makes humans nervous," she said softly. "But it is about honor, trust, and acceptance. Lara's family sees you as a partner in our lives, not a possession. You are welcome here, because of your actions and your respect for our ways." Rin nodded, feeling relief and pride. He realized that cultural misunderstandings were natural, but patience and openness could overcome them. That evening, Lara asked Rin to help with a maintenance task on a minor system. Working side by side, Rin showed her how humans often approach problem solving. Lara asked questions, tested his ideas, and then applied them herself. The teamwork created laughter and mutual respect. "You teach well," Lara said quietly. "And you learn quickly. That is rare." Rin smiled. He realized that this partnership between human and Zorathian was more meaningful than any ceremony or ritual. It was built on mutual respect and shared effort. As the night grew deeper, Myra led Rin to a quiet balcony overlooking the stars. "You are becoming part of our world, Rin," she said, holding his hand. "Not because of any tradition, but because you have earned our trust. That is the most important thing." Rin looked out at the stars, feeling a mixture of pride and wonder. Humanity had always believed in exploring, understanding, and connecting. Here, on Zorathia, he saw those values in action. His courage, intelligence, and respect had allowed him to build bonds across species. He turned to Myra and nodded. "I want to continue learning. I want to help, and I want to belong not just to you, but to your world." Myra's eyes glowed softly. "Then you will. Together, we will navigate this culture, these challenges, and the future. You have shown that humans can adapt, contribute, and build trust even in the most different worlds." Rin smiled, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. The journey had not been easy, but every misunderstanding, every challenge, and every moment of doubt had brought him closer to understanding Zorathians. He was no longer a visitor. He was becoming a trusted friend, a partner, and a valued member of their community. As the night settled, Rin thought about the future. There would be more challenges, more cultural puzzles, and more opportunities to prove humanity's ingenuity and respect. But he also knew that trust could be built, bridges could be formed, and bonds could grow stronger. For Rin, the festival, the crisis, and the lessons learned had one clear meaning: humans could not only survive in alien worlds, they could thrive, inspire respect, and become a part of the greater universe. The orbital station was quiet in the morning light, but Rin felt a buzz of excitement. Today, Myra had arranged a special event, a smaller ceremony where he would be formally welcomed as an honorary member of her family. Unlike the Festival of Bonds, this was personal, private, and deeply meaningful. Myra led Rin to a chamber filled with soft floating lights. Lara was already there, her expression calm and welcoming. Rin felt a mixture of nerves and anticipation. "Rin," Myra said, her voice gentle, "today you will see what it truly means to be trusted and accepted in Zorathian culture. This is more than ceremony, It is acknowledgement of your presence, your actions, and your respect. Ren nodded, trying to steady his heartbeat. He understood that the gift tradition had been symbolic all along, but this moment carried a weight he had not yet experienced. Lara approached him and held out a glowing orb, similar to those he had seen during the festival. "This is for you," she said softly. "It represents trust, friendship, and respect. You are now an honored part of our family circle." Ren took the orb carefully, feeling its gentle warmth. He bowed slightly in gratitude. "Thank you. I feel honored." Myra smiled, taking his hand. "See? You are valued not because of words, but because of your courage, your patience, and your willingness to understand us." Ren looked at Lara. "I want to thank you too. For guiding me, for helping me understand your world, and for trusting me." Lara's eyes softened. "It is easy to trust those who show respect and care. You have proven yourself in ways words cannot always express." The ceremony continued with shared stories and quiet laughter. Ren listened to tales of Zorathian ancestors, their adventures in space, and lessons about courage and wisdom. He shared small stories from Earth, showing human curiosity and problem-solving. Myra and Lara laughed at his tales of human inventions and traditions, fascinated by the differences yet inspired by the similarities. Afterward, Myra suggested a simple game, a combination of Zorathian coordination exercises and human strategy puzzles. Ren demonstrated, and soon all three were laughing, testing each other's skills. The game became a symbol of mutual learning, trust, and friendship. Ren realized that this day was more than acceptance. It was proof that humans and Zorathians could bridge their differences, learning from each other and respecting one another's abilities. Later, Ren walked with Myra on the observation balcony. The stars stretched endlessly, glittering against the blackness of space. "I think I finally understand your culture," Ren said quietly. "It took effort, patience, and guidance, but I see now. Respect and trust mean more than words." Myra smiled. "Yes, Ren. Actions, understanding, and sincerity matter more than what words might suggest. And you have shown all three." Ren felt a sense of pride and belonging he had never experienced on Earth. Humans had always explored, adapted, and built connections in unknown lands. Here, among the stars, he realized that humanity's values, courage, intelligence, and respect were universal. As they returned to the main hall, Lara joined them. "We are glad you are here, Ren," she said. "Not as a ceremonial gift, not as a guest, but as a trusted friend and partner in our world." Ren smiled, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. The misunderstandings of the first days were gone. What remained was something stronger, mutual understanding and respect. That evening, Ren helped Myra and Lara with some maintenance work in a quiet part of the station. They shared ideas, tested solutions, and even corrected small mistakes together. Ren admired their patience, and they admired his creativity. It was a perfect example of collaboration across species. As night settled, Ren looked out at the vast galaxy. He thought about Earth, about the humans who had dreamed of reaching the stars, and about the importance of respecting alien cultures. He realized that humanity could not only survive in other worlds but also thrive and inspire respect through understanding and action. Myra joined him, leaning gently on his shoulder. "You have grown so much in a short time, Ren. Not just in skill, but in understanding. That is why you are accepted. That is why we trust you." Ren smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. He had faced misunderstandings, cultural puzzles, and challenges, but he had succeeded. Humans were capable of forming bonds, earning trust, and bridging worlds, even where words and traditions differed. For Ren, this was the true meaning of being human among the stars. Not just surviving, not just working with technology, but earning respect and building lasting connections through courage, patience, and care. The final day of Rin's stay on Zarathea arrived. The orbital station hummed with activity, but a sense of calm filled the air. Rin had completed his repairs, stabilized the systems, and earned the trust of Myra, Lara, and the entire community. Now, it was time to prepare for his departure. Myra walked with him through the quiet corridors, her glowing skin reflecting the soft lights of the station. "Rin, I want you to know," she said, "you are leaving not just as a guest, but as part of our family. Your presence has shown us how humans think, act, and care. That is something we value deeply." Rin felt a lump in his throat. He had grown attached to this world and its people, and he knew he would miss them. "Thank you, Myra. I've learned so much from you, Lara, and your culture. I hope I've earned your respect." "You have more than earned it," Myra said, smiling. "You have proven that humans can adapt, understand, and contribute to our world." Lara approached, holding a small glowing orb in her hands. "Rin," she said softly, "this is for you. It is a symbol of trust, friendship, and honor. Not as a gift in the old sense, but as a token of acceptance. You will always be welcome here." Rin took the orb carefully. Its gentle warmth felt comforting, like a connection that could cross worlds. "I will treasure this," he said. "And I will remember everything I have learned here." The sisters led Rin to the observation deck, where his shuttle awaited. The stars stretched endlessly beyond the station, a reminder of the vastness of space and the endless possibilities that awaited humanity. Rin paused, taking in the view, feeling both pride and sadness. "Rin," Myra said, "remember that understanding and respect are universal. You have proven that humans can form bonds, even across species. That is what makes your kind remarkable." Rin nodded. "I understand now. It is not about language or ceremony. It is about actions, care, and trust." As he prepared to board the shuttle, Lara stepped forward. "We may be separated by space, Rin, but you are part of our story. Your courage and respect will be remembered." Rin smiled warmly. "And I will carry your lessons back to Earth. Humans have much to learn, but we can also inspire respect, just as I have learned from you." The shuttle engines hummed, ready for departure. Rin waved to Myra and Lara, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. He had faced cultural confusion, misunderstandings, and challenges, but he had grown stronger, wiser, and more capable. As the shuttle lifted off, Rin looked back at the station. Myra and Lara waved, their faces glowing with warmth. Rin knew he had earned something greater than respect. He had built trust, understanding, and friendship that spanned worlds. During the journey back to Earth, Rin reflected on his experience. Humanity's strength was not only in technology or exploration, but in its ability to learn, adapt, and connect with others, no matter how different. Courage, patience, and care could bridge any gap, even between species with vastly different customs. Rin also thought about the gift misunderstanding. What had initially caused him anxiety had turned into a lesson about cultural differences, trust, and the importance of observing and respecting intentions rather than words. It was a reminder that humans could thrive anywhere, not through force or domination, but through understanding, respect, and intelligence. By the time Earth's atmosphere appeared below, Rin felt a renewed sense of purpose. He had proven that humans could meet the stars not just as explorers, but as diplomats, friends, and respected partners. As the shuttle descended, Rin looked once more at the vast blackness beyond the station and the distant stars. He knew that humanity's potential was limitless, and that respect, courage, and understanding could create bridges across the galaxy. When the shuttle finally touched down, Rin stepped out with a confident smile. The lessons of Zarathea were now a part of him. He knew that wherever humans went in the universe, they could earn trust, inspire respect, and form bonds that transcended worlds. And in his heart, Rin carried a memory of Myra, Lara, and the shimmering lights of Zorothea, a reminder that humanity's greatest strength was not just in what it could build or explore, but in what it could give: understanding, respect, and friendship. The adventure had ended, but the story of human ingenuity and trust among the stars was only beginning.